Yangon's bustling fish market has become a magnet for groups of children desperate to make $1 or $2. Young boys and children spend hours scouring sewage systems and wastewater for fish scraps in hope of selling them for a small profit. This young boy is on a mission. As fish market sellers do business on the ground, he's going down below to look for scraps. He soon finds a fish, one he hopes he'll be able to get a buyer for. Back on the surface, 13-year-old Ya Ming Kin is crouched down looking through dirty water for discarded seafood. She said she came here to work to help her family. Outside the market halls, 10-year-old Ted Poo has his eyes fixed on a drain as he too seeks out scraps to sell. Today, Ted Poo has managed to gather a bowl of seafood which is attracting buyers. This fish market is the biggest in Myanmar. It opens late at night and runs until late morning. The Yangon market is heart of Myanmar's seafood industry. For people with little time on their hands, online shopping is a quick and easy way to replenish empty kitchen cupboards. Asrininda Ferialdi is part of Indonesia's growing middle class. The 25-year-old and her husband work full-time for a multinational company in the capital Jakarta and have little free time outside work. Asrininda loves making dinner and preparing fruit juices, but the couple have no time to head to the local supermarket to pick up groceries. So instead of pounding the shop aisles, they surf the internet for their shopping instead. Asrininda heard about a website called 5foryou.com, which specializes in delivering fresh produce to people's homes. Now she heads to the site twice a week to buy fruits and vegetables. The website is the brainchild of 26-year-old entrepreneur Angga Satria Pradana and two friends. The name 5foryou is a playful take on the Indonesian word sayur, meaning vegetables. The site has been running for about a year and attracts an average of 10 to 16 customers every day, bringing in revenue of around $700 per month. Angga thinks it's proving popular because people want their produce as fresh as possible. Motorbike couriers deliver the goods ordered on 5foryou.com to get around traffic in the capital. Traditional supermarkets and major retail players in Indonesia are increasingly cashing in on the online phenomenon. The Indonesian Retail Merchants Association estimates that up to 80% of traditional grocery providers are using online transactions. Carrefour Indonesia, a branch of the French retail giant, has recently launched an online service named Click and Drive. Through the company's website, customers are able to order their groceries such as cooking oil, rice, sugar, canned foods and drinks. They then choose a time to pick them up from the store. At present, Carrefour Indonesia offers this service only at two of their outlets, one in Jakarta and another one on the tourist resort island of Bali. Thousands of Filipino mothers simultaneously breastfed their babies in convention centers, daycare centers, hospitals and other sites on Thursday. The aim was to break their own world record and send a message to politicians. Breastfeeding advocate Nona Andaya Castillo says legislators should enact a stricter law that will protect breastfeeding. She works for an advocacy group called Nurturers of the Earth, which wants the Filipino government to legislate to prevent cow's milk and formula from being marketed in ways seen as undermining exclusive and sustained breastfeeding. The Philippines set the world record in 2007, when 15,128 participated at 295 sites across the country. Organizers said that on Thursday, the initial count was 21,000 participants at 1,000 sites nationwide.
We are organizing it in 1,000 sites nationwide, so I think we will double the record this time.
The organizers will have to provide evidence to Guinness World Records for it to confirm that they have set a new record. World Health Organization statistics from 2010 showed that while 87% of Filipino babies were breastfed, 40% were exclusively breastfed for 4 months and 34% for 6 months. In Thailand, local administration of Ban Plok Deng municipality in Rayong province organizes its traditional buffalo racing to promote tourism. The annual event this year draws a large number of local spectators as well as Thai and foreign tourists. Villagers bring nearly 20 water buffaloes to participate in the event. Ban Plok Deng Mayor Chai Yong said the buffalo racing had continued in Phuong Deng district for more than 40 years. According to him, Phuong Deng was an important agricultural area of Rayong, and the traditional racing is aimed at encouraging locals to keep buffaloes for their labor in agriculture. The racing also helped boost local tourism and generate locals' incomes, he said. Water buffalo racing is also a tradition of people in Chonburi province, as it has continued there for longer than a century. Normally, water buffaloes racing takes place annually on the eve of the end of the Buddha Lent to entertain buffaloes after they had done hard work in paddy fields for a long time. Singapore's Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong said improving the Republic's tertiary education cannot just be about increasing university places. Launching the National University of Singapore's NUS New University Town, Lee said the challenge is for local universities to keep improving and serving Singaporeans better. The NUS University Town, or U-Town, cost 600 million Singapore dollars to build, and it is the first of its kind in Singapore. It is an integrated living and learning environment which features research centres, residential colleges and recreational facilities. Lee said U-Town is part of broader efforts to upgrade Singapore's tertiary education system, but he believes that improving tertiary education cannot just be about increasing university places. He said Singapore's universities must equip students with skills that are relevant in the future while maintaining their rigour and standards. Brunei youths have been urged to explore economic opportunities that abound from the diversity of cultures and traditions found in the country. Brunei's Culture, Youth and Sports Minister Haji Hazair Haji Abdullah said national culture heritage can contribute to the economy and open up job opportunities. During the opening ceremony of the Culture Festival on Wedding Ceremonies of Ethnic Malays in Brunei, the minister said the growing creative industry plays a significant role in global economic growth. On promoting cultural heritage, he said spreading the understanding of the nation's culture is important through formal and non-formal ways. He said culture should be discussed at higher learning institutions to prevent it from being threatened. He said the Culture Festival was significant in efforts to preserve and promote national heritage. The Culture Festival comprised three main components: the showcase of wedding ceremonies, culture dialogue, as well as exhibition and bazaar. The exhibition features the 7 ethnic groups in the Sultanate: Kedayan, Murut, Dusun, Bisaya, Belait, Tutong and Brunei Malay. The Sultan of Brunei on Tuesday announced the phased introduction of Islamic laws punishing criminal offences such as theft, apostasy and illicit sexual relations will come into force in 6 months. The monarch officially signed the new legislation dubbed Sharia Penal Code at the launch of the Knowledge Convention 2013 in Barakas. The Sharia Penal Code lays out specific punishments for hudud crimes as prescribed by Al-Quran and Sunnah. The Sultan said such measure would not be in any way change Brunei Darussalam's policies, and that on the contrary, the country will continue working together with its friends to establish more cordial and harmonious relationships based on mutual respect. He hoped that all Brunei citizens and residents would stand firmly, shoulder to shoulder, in upholding and welcoming the coming into force of the historic legislation. The Knowledge Convention's exhibition this year focuses on education themed Education Shapes National Identity. The exhibition covers knowledge and information on the Sharia criminal legislation. 2 books on the Sharia Penal Code in the Malay and English versions were launched at the event. The book is a publication of the State Mufti Department that gives an in-depth explanation on Islamic laws. Sharia law is generally confined to Muslims, but can be extended to non-Muslims if they are involved in aiding or abetting an offence committed by a Muslim. Workers representing oil firms from Japan, Vietnam and Kuwait have begun construction on Vietnam's second oil refinery in Ny Son, northern Vietnam. More than 1,000 officials attended a groundbreaking ceremony on Wednesday. Idemitsu Kosan and Mitsui Chemicals from Japan are teaming up with state-owned oil companies from Vietnam and Kuwait to invest about $9 billion in the plant. Leaders in Hanoi hope the refinery will help meet Vietnam's growing demand for fuel. Strong economic growth has led to a rapid increase in sales of motorbikes and cars. The plant is expected to begin operation in 2017. It will process up to 200,000 barrels a day. Vietnamese Prime Minister Nguyen Thanh Dung says the project is crucial for the expanding economy. The country's sole refinery has been in operation for 4 years and only meets about 30% of the demand for fuel. Idemitsu Kosan chairman Kazuhisa Nakano says his firm wants to use the refinery as a base to expand gasoline sales and other businesses in Cambodia, Laos and Myanmar. Wat Si Mung is one of Vientiane's most popular sites of worship and offers a fascinating insight into how all animist beliefs have blended seamlessly with Theravada Buddhism. According to local legend, when the temple was built in 1563, a young pregnant woman named Si Mung volunteered to sacrifice herself to appease the angry spirits. She threw herself into a hole in the ground where the building's central pillar was to be placed and was crushed when the massive pillar was lowered into position. This central pillar also formed the center of the town that was springing up around Wat Si Mung, which today is revered as the Mother Temple of Vientiane. During the Tat Long festival every October or November, this temple is one of the focal points of the celebrations, and Si Mung is featured as a guardian of the city. On a daily basis, Wat Si Mung attracts crowds of local Buddhists who wants to benefit from its good luck powers. It is commonly thought that if you pray for something here and simultaneously make a promise, your wish will be granted, providing you return and fulfill your promise. Cambodia's first ever agricultural census is underway, tasked with addressing the lack of reliable statistical information on one of the country's most crucial economic sectors. The census is being undertaken by the government with assistance from the UN's Food and Agriculture Association, FAO. Topics of the census include the total area of agricultural holdings, location, size, use and ownership of land, types of crops planted, farming techniques, use of irrigation, and characteristics of farming households. The FAO says Cambodia does not currently have an appropriate framework for conducting agricultural surveys, nor a set of reliable statistics in place to allow accurate decision-making for policy development. The proposed outcomes of the census include detailed, reliable, and current information about the sector to better inform government, NGOs, and development agencies. According to FAO Cambodia, the first round of the census, an estimated 2.7 million households engaged in agricultural activities will be identified. In the second round, 5% of these households will be interviewed about their agricultural activities before experts eventually examine the data.